this is Once to Watch Chef's Choice. I'm Abby Kenna, and today I'm joined by Jade LeMac. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. You're back in Canada now, yeah? You're home?
Yes, Vancouver, BC.
Okay, beautiful. And you were just in LA for a show, right?
Yeah, I did a few shows,
Okay,
some on the East Coast, and then I came back to the West Coast for LA. So
nice. How'd they go?
yeah, awesome. It was so cool. These were my first like headline shows,
Oh
so
my
it
God.
was yeah, very, very exciting, and meeting everyone was awesome. I made sure to like say hi to everyone at the end. They're all so sweet. So really, really good time.
Wow, that's beautiful. I feel
Yeah.
like the vibe difference from obviously support shows are so amazing, but to know that like everyone came there wanting to meet you and in those like few moments you get in the States, that's really cool.
Yeah, 100%. It was awesome.
That's great. I love it. How is the music scene where you're at? How does it differ?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot smaller here. I honestly don't really I've got my little team, um, and that's about it. Like I don't really have any friends or anything that are into music. I have one who actually opened for my Vancouver show. She's great, but it's definitely a lot smaller in Vancouver than other places.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard that, but I mean, you wouldn't know. You have like an amazing online community, so that's
Yeah.
universal.
Yeah. Totally, totally.
Cool. Well, I'm really excited that you're here. We're going to get into our little three-course meal of music. And to start, I would love to know if listeners had never heard your music before, what's the first song you would tell them to listen to?
Such a hard one. I think I'd probably pick Last Day on Earth. I
Okay.
think I think it's one of my like secret kind of songs, but whenever I've shown people, no matter like what their main music taste is, they've always kind of been able to like, you know. So I think that one. I think that's one that just catches the
Do
ear.
we feel the pain? If this was our last day on earth, I'd spend it with you and do all the things we've been too scared to do. If everything's cursed, there's nothing to lose. Let's slow down to silence, we'll smoke fills the room.
Okay, I love that.
Hmm.
Yeah. The gateway in.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'd love to know what led you to write that song, maybe a little bit about the story behind it.
Yeah, I think that I kind of just liked the idea of if the world was ending, but I feel like that's kind of a cliche kind of thing where it's like, oh my God, I will love you forever. And this one's more kind of just like, screw it. Let's have fun, let's just make the most of it. If we're gonna die, let's die in a fun way kind of thing.
Right.
So I liked putting that little twist on the song. And I think that it also just shows with the production. It was funny because the song actually was like a completely different song before,
Mm,
and then we rewrote it and then redid the entire production and everything. And
okay.
just kept a few lines of the original one, and now it is what it is today. And I love it. So
What led you to rewrite it? Was it more of like matching the lyrics to the production that you landed on, or vice versa?
yeah, I think sometimes when I'm making songs, I can just feel that it doesn't feel right or feel super authentic to me. And that's one that just it wasn't feeling right. And we're trying so hard to, figure out what was wrong with it. And then we just realized we kind of needed to start from scratch. We really liked the idea of the song, but we didn't like the direction that it was going in. So
Yeah, you had the
yeah,
spark, but you just needed the right
exactly.
story. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
What does your writing process usually look like? Like, are you always working with the same collaborators, or what is it?
Yeah, right now I've got a producer that I work with very closely, and we work on everything together. This next project is all just him and I. We are always, he's like my bestie. We've known each other for quite a few years. He's helped me since the beginning, and he's always believed in me. So he's my main guy. I usually write by myself. I think that's what feels most authentic to me. So.
So, are you starting the songs and then bringing them to him, or are you actually like starting all of the music with him in the room?
Yeah, I'm usually starting the songs by myself. I come up with ideas. Sometimes they're fully written songs, sometimes they're just a chorus or a verse or something like that, and I bring it to him. And then if I can kind of tell by his reaction if he thinks there's something there, because I feel like sometimes with me, I'm kind of like blinded by my writing. So whenever I come up with a new idea, I'm like, wow, that's genius. And then I listen to it a week later and I'm like, that was actually the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. So it's definitely good to get his opinion.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
sounding board is super helpful, and I think it's rare to find someone that you can trust that much to like show those unfinished ideas to, so that's beautiful.
totally. Yeah.
Backtracking a bit, but when did you start playing music? Like how early in your life was that?
I've been singing for like as long as I can remember, not seriously. It was more just like karaoke with my family and my cousins. And but I started writing songs when I was about 11 or 12.
Wow, that's early
So
though.
yeah, definitely. I remember my dad or Santa got me like a little keyboard for Christmas. So I just started writing with that by myself, and that's kind of when it all started. And
Okay.
I had very supportive family and friends around me, so I think that definitely helped.
100%. It's hard if
Yeah.
that's a roadblock.
Yeah.
When was like the inciting incident of like, okay, I'm going to actually be an artist. Like this is my career rather than I'm writing songs for fun.
It's so embarrassing, but
Oh, good.
I honestly was like always just so confident. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a singer. Like, you
Yeah.
know, in kindergarten when you were like, oh, what are you gonna be when you're older? I was like a singer. I
Right.
kind of just didn't, I like didn't ever think that it wasn't gonna be an option, which was kind of crazy of me. Very, very grateful because it's such a hard industry. But yeah, I made those kindergarten dreams come true. So I don't know how.
They'll call it delusional, but it was manifesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. Well, you mentioned your upcoming project and everything that's ahead of us, but I would love to know now that we're like in the meat of your artist era, what best represents you right now? What is our main course of what you're up to?
That's such a hard question. I'd say, okay, I'm gonna say the song is an unreleased one.
Okay. I love it.
It's Sleeping with the Lights On.
Okay.
Um, I actually performed it at the shows that I did for my
Oh.
first headline ones. And I don't know, I just feel like this was one of the songs where I had almost fully written when I came to my producer, and I just had it written for so long. And I always came back to it and was like,
Hmm.
this feels like something. And it's not a very poppy song, but it just feels like so authentic to me and my like songwriter side of me
Hmm.
that it just, I'm just like, ugh, I love it, you know?
It's
So
essential, yeah.
yeah, I think it's just like, it really, I struggled a lot with feeling like songs are very authentic to me sometimes because I started writing at such a young age. And then the next year I look back at it and I'm like, hmm, it's not the best thing, you know? And
Yeah.
so as time moves on, this song just really feels like I always listen back to it and I'm like, I really like this one. So I
Okay.
feel like, yeah.
When you say it's not such a poppy song, do you mean in genre or more of like it's like a singer-songwriter vibe?
Yeah, I guess more genre kind of vibe. It's just not
Okay.
like necessarily pop. It's very, I don't even know. It's just like, originally wrote it on guitar. So,
Okay.
um, yeah. And that's, which is different because I've actually written a lot of songs on my previous EPs on piano.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay. And then like context-wise, is this a different perspective than your other music? Like what makes it feel so true to you?
I'm not even sure. I think it's just I let myself be very vulnerable while writing it. And I think I tried different things, and um a new thing that's upcoming with this new EP is I've learned to use like layering vocals in more of like a production way. So it kind of was the first song where I was doing more vocals in the background of the chorus and like just in the intro and everything like that. And I feel like I found that I just really love doing that.
Yeah.
Using my vocals as more of an instrument than just like vocals.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
It's so cool when you unlock the like producer mindset where now that's like part of the songwriting process too.
exactly.
Are
Totally.
you producing it all as well, or you're
He's really good at all that stuff. I'm
totally?
hopefully one day gonna learn, but I give my 2 cents and then he does all the
Yeah.
buttons and stuff. So,
Which
yeah.
is a part of the process too. Like that's
Yeah, no, and especially with this EP, like we've learned that just like me being in the room helps, even if I'm just like, oh, I like that sound, And then so yeah, I love being part of the process, but JVP definitely is the
yeah.
mind behind it all, yeah.
You're the guiding light and he's pushing the buttons. So
Exactly. He's awesome, yeah.
I love it. And I don't know, how much can we talk about the upcoming EP? Is it cool if we like get into some of the themes and stuff?
Yeah, I think we can talk about it a bit.
Okay. I'm always curious when people are putting out a project. Did you mean to write an EP, or did these songs like find each other in a sense, or how did you decide that this was going to be like an EP rather than singles?
Yeah, so that's actually a great question because I've said a lot that in the past, with the past EPs, I've found it hard to find, like, it didn't feel cohesive to me as much. I felt like it was more of like, okay, like I like this song and I like this song and I like this song, you know what I mean? But I didn't have like a set thing throughout it all. And there were a few kind of things where I'm like, okay, these can all relate, but
Yeah.
like looking back on it now and as I've grown, I don't feel it as much. And so with this EP, I've really wanted to like find something cohesive about it all and feel like it's one piece without still like making every song sound the same. Because at one point I thought that's what it had to be, but it's definitely not what's happening with these songs.
Good.
But I still feel like I'm like, okay, yeah, I feel like this is me in my time in life right now. So
Mm.
yeah.
So what ended up being the connecting factor? Was it like a lyrical perspective? Was it some of the sounds you were using or the genre?
I think, I mean, and again, going back to it, a big thing were the vocals and just like how I use my vocals in these songs and like doing gang vocals or just like so many like stacking of vocals and things like that. I feel like that's a big thing that I've learned that I just really love to do. And that happens a lot throughout almost all the songs. So that's a big thing. And I think we haven't fully finished it yet, so I'm trying to make it happen more, but maybe there'll be some sort of more connecting lines, but that's like it's kind of just the process of it all that feels really good to me at the moment.
Yeah, I think you're also at such a pivotal point in your artist career too, where it feels like you're settling into like your perspective and your vision. And I think it's really cool that you have such like an interactive fan base, so you kind of know what they're latching on to as well.
Hmm. Totally.
Yeah, I'd love to hear about some of your like artist inspirations or sonic influences as you've been writing the EP too.
Yeah, let me think. I
Yeah,
mean, we love my producer and I have been listening to Lord lately, actually,
that's good.
which is yeah, love Lord, awesome. Who else? I don't know. It's hard because with this question, it's always difficult because when I actually get in a songwriting mode or when I'm in the mode of making music, it's unfortunate, but I really don't listen to anybody else. It like
Totally.
actually really it can mess with me sometimes because I'll like subconsciously almost like want to copy it in a way. So sometimes
Mhm.
I just like to listen to my songs in the car and that's it. I literally will listen to a song like on repeat in my car and just, you know, like deal with it in my car and kind of just
Yeah.
figure out what I want and what I want to change and what I want to add like by myself. And I kind of just try to use my own imagination and creativity. But Lord's the main one that I think we've been listening to, especially for one of the recent songs we've been working on. But sometimes it ends up just like fully changing as time goes on because sometimes you can't just, you know.
Yeah. I mean, also when you're writing, I feel like you're not usually trying to sound like anything else. So they, at the
Yeah,
end of the
exactly.
day, yeah, they become
Exactly.
something.
It's you try and gain a little bit of inspiration with like things you like or even just like a simple sound. Like I hear like a one little like percussion little sound and I'm like, I
Mhm.
like that, you know, and just adding that can make like a big difference in a song.
Totally. It's a melting pot for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. Well, I don't know what you were planning to talk about for our dessert track, but I did want to mention Constellations because that's obviously been a big song for you. And
Hmm.
I'm especially curious about all of the the remixes and the different versions you've been doing and sort of what was the inspiration behind doing that and how that has been to experience the song in so many different ways. And you've done it for a few tracks, I think.
Yeah, yeah, with yeah, Constellations. I'm very grateful for that song. That one has been awesome and it started off with just doing a piano version.
Mhm.
And it's always I always love doing like piano versions or acoustic versions to songs just because that's like low key how they were originally written a
Mhm.
lot of the time. And so I feel like it's kind of cool to just like show people that side of my writing. But with this piano one, we were just so inspired that we like really went hard on it, and it ended up being great that we did because so many people love the piano version. And over the past couple years, I mean, it was in My Life with the Walter Boys, and then it was in Sideline, The Key Being Me, which it was insane. The reactions that they got from those were like so unexpected. And so we kind of just decided to do some remixes. Why not, you know? And I feel
Yeah,
like it's so cool to just like change the song up and kind of give it a new life and to be able to like listen to it in a different kind of scenario because I'm not going to be bumping my head to the piano version, you know? So it's like it's kind of just cool to be able to take songs and give it a new life and kind of give it a new meaning by doing those things.
totally. I think
Mhm.
it's a really awesome thing to do with a song that means so much to your career as well because it's never going away. So now having so many versions that you can play the piano version when you're having a sad day or the
Yeah,
bump it up version when you're having a good one.
exactly. Like you can
Yeah.
listen to it for every emotion now.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Mhm.
Well, for a third track, I'd love to hear about a cherry on top song, one you're especially excited to put out into the world. Or one that you're loving the most that you have put out.
Ooh. Okay, wait. This is so hard. Okay. Are we preferring one that isn't released?
It's totally up to you, whatever you want to talk about.
Okay. I think okay, this one is unreleased. I think this one might not be the most popular song, but I think like the ones who have like my supporters who have fell in love with like my songwriting will really appreciate the song. It's called Sweet Dreams, and
Mhm.
it's honestly, I think one of my favorites, if not my favorite that I've ever written, like in the past few years. It's just so dreamy, but also like kind of nightmare at the same time. It's
Okay.
like, I don't know, like mentioned before, I'm gonna mention 100 times, the vocals and the song are just so awesome. And my producer JVP absolutely like killed it with the production. And it's one of those songs where I actually had a full vision for the production and he just like nailed it right on the head. And I'm very proud of the lyrics, I think. And so if you're into like the singer-songwritery, slower type of songs, I think that that one will do it for you because it does it for me. So
Cool. Well, I
yeah.
won't make you reveal too much about it because I know it's coming up, but
Mhm.
what inspired you to write it? What's it about?
Honestly, I think that it was like late at night when I first wrote it, and I kind of just came up with the melody and the lyric "Sweet Dreams" at the same time. Um, and it's just like a very cool melody with a cool run in it. And from there, I feel like I low-key just blacked out and just like started writing the whole song, and then the whole song came in like a minute. It was one of those songs. So yeah, I think just feelings and emotions and
Mhm.
experiences kind of just, and imagination as well, just all wrapped into the song and just came out at once. So
Was it one of those situations where you like wrote it all down and you didn't know what it meant, and now you can sort of like analyze it and know what you were trying to say?
yeah, I think so. I think it's still one of those songs where it can be interpreted in so many different ways.
That's awesome.
Like if you're feeling it, you can kind of just feel it how you want to feel it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. Okay. It sounds
Mhm.
universal. I know you're saying it might not be people's favorite, but I'm excited.
It's my favorite, so
Okay. That'll do it.
yeah.
Well, I have a couple of closing questions that are a lot
Mhm.
less serious. So
Mhm.
I'd love
Awesome.
to know if your music was a candle, what it would smell like. Either a real smell or a concept of a smell.
You know what is my favorite smell ever? You know when it's like been dry outside and then the fresh rain?
Yes. Oh my God.
Mhm.
Like a
Yeah,
little
that's
dirty, but like in a clean
yeah,
way.
yeah, like yeah, exactly like a little rustic, like fresh rain kind of vibes. Oh,
Love it.
love that smell. Yes, we rarely get it in Vancouver because it's raining all the time. So it
Mm,
just smells like wet. But yeah, probably that smell.
that's beautiful. Okay. Yeah, I'm jealous
Mhm.
being in
Mhm.
LA. Um, my second question, I'd love to know what your favorite sound is right now, but like a life sound that you're experiencing, not like a music sound.
Okay. Okay, I love this is gonna say I love birds chirping right now.
Hmm.
Is that okay? But
Yeah.
it's just because it's like slowly getting sunny in Vancouver now. So like when I hear a bird chirping at 6 a.m. and it's bright outside, I get so excited because I'm like,
Oh,
it's bright outside at 6 a.m. This is awesome. So definitely, I think that gets me excited for the day.
are you a morning person?
I'd like to think so a little bit.
Okay.
I want to be a morning person. I think I can be a morning person. I'm
When the
not
birds
grumpy.
are chirping, yeah.
When the birds are chirping, I'm a morning person. Yeah.
Love it. Well, I'm sure we've asked you this before, but our final question always is who your ones to watch are and like who you're listening to that we should be listening to.
My girlfriend and I have been listening to this girl. Her song A-lister, Romy Mars.
Oh, don't get me started.
Yeah,
So
we've been
good.
listening to that song and we've been loving it.
Okay,
So,
perfect.
her.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah,
Well, those are my
awesome.
questions, and thank you so much for chatting with me. I'm glad we finally made this happen.